Good morning, everyone. Oh, here we go.
Hey
Good.
everybody.
Oh, good.
Hey everybody, it's Jeff Taz, digital producer here at the Fox 13, and I'm joined by Dani Ruberti and Brek Bolton, our meteorologists, who, if you were wearing a hat today, you want to strap it on because it's getting windy out there, and it's been windy this morning, but it's only going to get windier. So could you guys talk a little bit about what's going on and what's happening right now?
So I have been in all morning on GDU, and Brek is in for the midday shows. So we're tag teaming it right now. And this is kind of just round number one, what we saw last night into this morning. And those winds really ramped up last night. Hasn't really let up for most of the morning time. We had a wind advisory in place until noon, and that has now been upgraded to a high wind watch until noon. And so we are continuing to see some of those stronger, gustier canyon winds. And I know, Brek, you mentioned where you live. You had reports of some really strong wind gusts now in Salt Lake County.
Yeah, so East Mill Creek, kind of up towards the bench there, near I-80. Wind gusts so far 45 miles per hour there. And I'm looking at the amounts all the way from Brigham City down through North Salt Lake, and that's kind of a spot that when we have these downsloped wind events tend to get the strongest winds so far from the National Weather Service. And this is at the junction of I-15 Highway 89 right there in Farmington. There was a report of a 72 mile per hour wind gust that was reported just a little over an hour ago. So they've been kicking up, and that's why it has been a concern here this morning. And as we mentioned, this was kind of round one, where round two really will get going tonight through tomorrow morning. So when we get these downslope wind events, the big concerns are, we have to secure loose items. We know that, my garbage cans were toppled over. I've got limbs already down. Again, that's East Mill Creek with 40 to 50 mile per hour winds. When you start getting upwards of 50, 60, even 70 mile per hour winds, now we're talking, potential trees coming down. Definitely larger loose items, securing trampolines and so forth that we have to speak of.
And I've even seen reports of power outages this morning. And we just had, the roads were crazy this morning, mainly due to those crosswinds along I-15, Highway 89, Legacy Parkway. Saw some photos of trees downed already on a car. And to think that this is round one and it's going to be even stronger tonight, that's just only going to amplify as we go into this evening.
Right. Well, a National Weather Service in preparation, putting a high wind warning, which will be for tonight through tomorrow morning. So when we start going into warning levels, then we know we're talking the ranges between 60 to 70 mile per hour wind gusts. And we know from these events that they can even get stronger. I've been up in Farmington where we've received 90 to even close to 100 mile per hour wind gusts. Now, I'm not saying we're going to do that, and this is still not like the event that hit in September, which had more far-reaching impact, more sustained, stronger wind gusts. But we will have periods with this high wind warning in effect that they're talking about potentially restricting travel along I-15, Highway 89 tonight through tomorrow morning for high-profile vehicles, because we know, as we have seen in events past, that as trucks do travel through that region, they can topple over, especially those high-profile trailers. So you might then, as in these events, see, a line of trucks pulled over before they hit Weber and Davis County. And we're now even looking at some strong wind gusts as far north of Brigham City, carrying over towards Cache Valley. And so this is incorporating a lot of northern Utah.
And what you're seeing on your screen right now is the high wind warning that Brek's been talking about. So we get a little bit of a break this afternoon, but this is going to go back into effect 6 o'clock tonight. It'll last until noon Wednesday. So some of the big areas of concern is going to be East Box Elder County, northern Wasatch Front, as Brek just mentioned, Cache Valley, where we could see those gusts exceeding 70 miles per hour. So I know we have seen some today hitting 72 miles per hour, which is pretty insane. But as Brek has been talking about, just, being prepared and taking the proper precautions. And I know this is something we've been through, and you know what to do when you're in this situation, but it's just that reminder. I know some garbage truck services are actually prolonging pickup tomorrow and saying, keep your trash cans inside. We're not coming tomorrow just because of the weather. We don't want we want to make sure you're staying safe. So it's going to be an active week.
What
was that again?
Well, a lot of people, think of windstorms. They think of what happened last September. Is this going to be anything kind of like that, or not close?
I wouldn't say not close. It's not, again, the intensity, the type of damage we'll see. I mean, that event caused large trees to come down, trees that have stood for decades. So the one thing I always get concerned, though, when you go with an event that hit in September, which might have weakened trees, then it just takes one strong gust to maybe bring over some trees. I would not be surprised, as we've already seen from this recent event, that there will be some smaller trees that do come down, where we're going to be doing some cleanup for sure as we move into Thursday and Friday as well. But again, we're not expecting an event like September, but we will see damage. We will see definitely limbs down, if not smaller, maybe even close to medium-sized trees coming down. And then the road restriction, definitely that's something we'll have to be aware of. High-profile vehicles will be delayed for hours on their travels, and will have to be pulled off. Kind of we see along in North Salt Lake, sometimes even in Salt Lake County, where they can't even go and roam through that region. So,
and I mean, look at all the colors that you're seeing on your map right now. What you're looking at is a live look at the wind gusts that we're seeing. Salt Lake County has been pretty clear all morning long, and now we've been seeing some of that ramp up. And as Brek mentioned, closer to the canyons.
Yeah, closer to Parley's.
Yeah.
Up, the avenues near University of Utah, and then further north Salt Lake, it's Bountiful, and then stronger, as we mentioned, up through Kaysville, Farmington.
But a map like this looks pretty with the colors, but it's not what you want to see.
No, you don't.
You don't want to see.
And we will see more purple, which is, again, wind gusts closer towards 50+ miles per hour, incorporating more coverage in area for sure tomorrow morning.
And it also seems like, Brek, that tomorrow it's going to be a little bit more widespread than what we saw today. So just think of tomorrow just being an amplified version of what we've been seeing today. And we had this morning, Jenny was on traffic and was just showing several different UDOT cameras, and you could they were shaking so hard that it was just making you dizzy looking at the cameras. So I kind of just take that into account, that's what it's look like today. I can only imagine tomorrow when it is going to be a little bit stronger of an event, and we just want to make sure everybody's prepared and safe.
And get your latest information. We'll be talking about this midday through our evening newscast. We'll have reporters live tomorrow morning on GDU, Good Day Utah. So we'll all get through this together, and of course give you the helpful information that you need.
Yep. Are you not hearing him? Or is it me?
There we go.
Okay. Sorry, Jeff.
Before we go, when tomorrow can we expect things to die down? When, is there a time frame where the worst is over?
Yeah, they'll slowly be decreasing later on in the morning into the afternoon. We'll still have some breezes, but the strongest winds will be overnight, early Wednesday morning, but they will be impacting and still going fairly strong through the morning commute. So our focus will be for the morning commute and tapering off tomorrow afternoon.
And this will give you a good idea too. This is our wind travel impacts. It's our future cast. So you can see them picking back up along the northern Wasatch Front tonight. But as Brek mentioned, the strongest is going to be overnight. So you're starting to see those dark purples. And that's going to be coming into play 1 o'clock in the morning. You see it through 6 o'clock in the morning, even into 7, 8 o'clock, but it just starts decreasing throughout that morning commute. But as Brek mentioned, it's going to be the overnight hours where it's strongest. And again, that warning is in effect until noon tomorrow, but it won't be as strong at that point as it is earlier on. But we do have that time frame in place so that kind of just covers all that time, and then things will start looking better in the afternoon.
Right.
So
excellent. Well, Dani, Brek, thank you very much. It's certainly going to be a something to look out for. Everybody needs to be cautious. Like you said, bring in things that may blow away in your yard. Prepare for it. because you certainly don't want something to act as a projectile and hurt you or your house. Or
Absolutely.
where you live. So thank you very much, and we will be watching you through watching the Fox 13 First Alert Weather Team throughout the rest of the day and tomorrow.
Great. Thank you,
Be
Jeff.
safe, everyone.
Be safe, everyone.